Hello everyone, my name is Hannah Tavik, and this is my presentation for a parent meeting about the risks involved in participating in athletic activity and regular activity. So just a heads up, I'll be referencing a school called the St. Keel High School, which is an all-girls school in Baltimore County, and I just used them as a mock school while giving you some samples for the meeting. So to start, we have an agenda which I have put together for about a 2-hour meeting. We'll start with an introduction, go into our goals for the athletic department and season goals that both the coaches and the parents and the athletes all put out for themselves for the new and upcoming athletic season. Then we'll go right into talking about the different types of risks there are in athletics. We'll talk about personal risks, environmental risks, and equipment risks, and then we will go right into our closing remarks. The introduction, I put a little sample together. You, as the athletic director, can say something along the lines of, "Hello parents and welcome to our annual parent athletic meeting. My name is Hannah Tavik and I am the athletic director here at the St. Keel High School. In today's quick meeting I will be covering the risks involved for your daughters who will be participating in athletics this school year. We will be covering 3 different kinds of risks, starting with personal risks. So an introduction like that, make sure that you introduce yourself, you introduce the topic of the meeting, and make sure it flows right into the topic you're about to talk about. And in this instance, you could also add your mission statement to your introduction to let the parents know what the athletic department is about, not just about sports, but about shaping your daughter or your athlete into a well-rounded student and athlete by the end of their career. So, jumping into goals, you want to make sure that you have both school and sports related goals. You want to ensure the parents that you, as an athletic administrator, care just as much about their academic success as you do their athletic success, if not more. You want to have goals such as all of your athletes being on honor roll, creating men and women of respect and honor and good character. You want to teach them how to handle themselves in conflict on and off the field. You can also have goals such as winning the conference, the region, or the state, having all county selections, or something just as simple as beating your rivals in a respectful way, obviously. Just going right into the risks because this meeting is all about risks. We'll start with personal risks, which is you want to have all athletes do a proper warm up and cool down. You should never jump into any activity without warming up. There could be reckless opponents that push and shove and hit, so that's another risk to being hurt. Playing under any influence, either drugs or alcohol, which is always against school policy. Wearing jewelry that can get torn out, chewing gum could be a choking hazard. Overtraining an athlete at this level, you could experience burnout, overuse injuries, strains, sprains, tears in the muscles. You should not push an athlete over their max effort. And there's also lack of exercise. You have too many athletes that come in that are not prepared, they have not participated in athletics before, and you have to know that you have to build strength and agility and endurance before you can get too crazy with the athletics part of the sport. And then improper techniques on the field and in the weight room. We've heard about stories already through the class about um, lifting improperly, which causes injury, and then lifting with injuries, which leads to an even more severe injury. So you have to know that you have to have the correct technique when you are playing any sport or doing any type of activity. Environmental risks, which would be mainly weather, which you have both extremely hot weather and extremely cold weather. If you play 2 sports, you have a fall and a spring season. So you have hypothermia, which you can get heat stroke, heat exhaustion, you can get heat cramps. You have to know that you always have to be hydrating during all seasons, whether you're inside or outside. Your body needs that fuel to keep you going. The field conditions, if you're playing on a turf field that it just rained, it might be wet and slippery. A grass field might have holes in it where you could twist your ankles, fall, trip, land on your face, get a concussion. All of those things are risks in the athletics world. And then you also have rain mixed with cold weather, which can lead to sleet, If you're not properly dressed for that, you can get sick, get a cold, and even worse, get hypothermia. So you just want to make sure that your parents know, your athletes know, and your coaches know that you need to be prepared and dressed for all weather types. So equipment risks are you must wear protective equipment that are properly functional. So in lacrosse, women's lacrosse, you have to wear goggles. When you're a goalie in field hockey, you have to wear the right pads. Men's lacrosse helmets, football helmets that don't have cracks in them. All of that needs to be properly functioning. You also need to know how to use the equipment. In baseball, if you're swinging a bat and you don't know the proper time to swing it, make sure there's no one around. You could cause injury to others around you. Making sure your equipment is ready to use, that if it's not broken, it's not going to fall apart. You're not going to use it and it's going to hit someone else. And you also want to make sure you're wearing proper clothing for games and practices. So you need shin pads, elbow pads, helmets. You need to make sure that your equipment is ready to use at all times and that you're wearing the proper equipment for your sport. So after you're done explaining the risks and how to prevent the risks, you'll go ahead and end the meeting with some closing remarks where you could say that now that we've covered these risks, it is the athlete's job and your job as parents to prevent this from happening at all costs. Keeping the children safe is our number one priority, and with your cooperation and knowledge of these risks, we can limit the number of sports-related injuries and work together with our coaches to make our athletes be successful. You want to make sure that the parents leave this meeting feeling knowledgeable about the risks, not scared about them. You want to make sure that they know about the hazards but are properly equipped to help avoid those. And you also want to ask if they have any questions and make sure all questions are answered, nothing is left unsaid at this meeting. And then you should greet everyone as they leave. It's really important that they feel comfortable when they are leaving this meeting. And that is it for my presentation on the risks of athletics and activities. Thank you.